Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I have the first of two headset reviews. I have been using a Cardo Pactalk Bold for the last 3-4 years, and a company called Fodsports emailed me a little while ago now, so I need to apologise to them for not getting this done sooner. And asked me if I'd like to try out a set of their M1-S Pro, headsets. So I was initially not going to say yes, but a couple of friends of mine said that they had these, and for the more budget end of the scale, they were actually really they were really happy with them. So some highlight specs. I did try to memorize this, but the units apparently have a 2-kilometer maximum distance, a 10 rider group intercom, noise reduction, and a 900 milliamp hour battery. So they do come in a single and a twin set. It's the twin set that they sent me. So what I'm going to do is do a quick unboxing. What's in the box. I'll try and do that as quickly as I can, because that's always the bit that I like doing the least. Showing the unit on the helmet, and then at the end I'll give my thoughts and some footage of me riding with it, so you don't have to stare at my face the entire time. So yeah, let's roll the intro and then let's move on. Okay, so let's do a bit of a quick unboxing of the unit. I know these aren't the most exciting parts, but let's see what you get in the kit. M1-S Pro. Let's have a look on the back. Features: Bluetooth 5, 8-way intercom, music sharing, hi-fi stereo sound, noise reduction, voice command, audio auxiliary, ultra large capacity. Right, let's have a look and see what we get in there. I will confess I've already had this out to install one of the units in one of my helmets, but let's have a look. Okay, so we have a start guide, which opens up pretty large with all the instructions on it. Some tips, if I can get that out. And then we have the actual units themselves. Like I say, I've already had one of these out. So let's have a look at this. This is the actual unit itself, plus and minus, intercom button, and a multi-function option. Excuse me. On the back we have what looks like a mini USB, which is for the microphone and the speakers. It looks like we have an auxiliary input or output there, and then under this we have, when I can get the cover off, we have micro USB. Okay, fair enough. Let's see what else is in the box. So let's open this one up. Oh, that's tight. Tell you what, let's take that one out first, because that'll be a lot easier. So in the accessories box we have the speakers and the boom mic. So let's have a look at that quickly. So we have some what look like, I'd say, 40-45 millimeter speakers, very similar to the Cardo ones. We'll see how good they are. A connector for, looks like a connector for the microphone, and a very standard boom mic with a little bit of a sort of Velcro-ish type thing there, and it stays very similar to the Cardo. Okay, let's move that out of the way. What else have we got in here? Okay, So I probably should have read the manual first so I could give you more accurate info on this, but we've got what looks like some sort of extension lead, maybe for an external, maybe for a different external microphone, perhaps for this, you know, sticky microphone here for closed face helmets. Okay, a USB-A to micro USB charging cable. We have the actual mount itself. I will stick on the screen now what this is actually for, because that is, you know, 3.5mm to what looks like a port that goes in on the bottom of here, I would guess. Yeah. So not entirely sure what that's for. I'm not sure if that's input or output, but anywho. So in the mounting kit, we have the actual unit, you know, bracket for the unit. We have some adhesive pads for sticking it to a helmet, and we have a metal, you know, clamp to slide inside a helmet. So I'm going to guess, and I know because I've already done this, that goes on there, and then the unit will go into that little, if you can see it well on the camera, that has to sit in that little slot, a little bit fiddly, and then it clicks in up there, and then to take it out you would just do that. And then we have some extra pieces which presumably are to if you have deeper recesses, so that you can you know, fill that out, and obviously sticky pads for the recesses themselves. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess, but that's everything you get in the kit. So let's you know, slap it in my helmet and see what happens. Okay, so we've got the unboxing out of the way. So the unit comes with a fairly, you know, comprehensive manual. I'm not going to go through every single feature in here, but it's, you know, the usual, how to, you know, pair, how to play music, answer calls, etc. So we're just going to go through, you know, some of that on this you know section of the video. I'm sure if you've owned any headsets of any other brand, this is, you know, probably quite straightforward and quite you know, similar. Anyway, right, let's get the unit you know, powered on. So press and hold, and the unit's on. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to pair this up to my iPhone quickly. Okay, let's go into Bluetooth, and then we're going to press and hold this button for 3 seconds. And there we go, it's flashing. And then on my iPhone, we have the Fodsports M1-S Pro. And then we are connected. Right, let's get some royalty-free music that's not going to get me a copyright strike. Okay. And you might be able to hear that. Anyway, so what we can do is if we go for the minus button, as you can see, the volume control on my iPhone is coming up, and if I press and hold the plus button, we go back to the beginning. If I do it twice, we get the audio paused. And then when we want to switch the unit off, we simply press these two here, and we're off. So in terms of, you know, wiring it into my helmet, I tried to do a video of it, but it's very difficult to sort of get the lighting right and the camera angles. But essentially exactly the same as you would for any other helmet. I've gone in behind the cheek pad. You probably can't see there, it's too dark, but the speakers in there, the wiring's going under the skull cap, and then you know, obviously it pops out there. And I've also, because this is a flip front helmet, I've wired in the boom mic. Okay, so what do I think of the units? I think for the price point, they are exceptionally good value. I'll start with what I like. I like the big chunky buttons on them. Very easy to find with whatever gloves on. Call quality, music quality, absolutely brilliant. I mean, you know, inside a helmet when you're doing, you know, 40, 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, it's hard at times to really differentiate from the more expensive end. I would say the speakers are a little bit slightly on the tinier side, but you know, given how much they are, I don't think we can expect the same, you know, richness as like the sort of JBL speakers, etc. So I think for the money, they are exceptionally good value. I had no dropouts, you know, nothing like that. They paired to my Insta360 X4, you know, absolutely fine. On phone calls, you know, people said they weren't able to hear me quite as well at speed as they are with the Cardo Pack Talk. But again, I'm not massively surprised, but they could hear me. Music, you know, playback, absolutely fine. The volume was absolutely fine, even at motorway speeds. I installed the other unit in my partner's helmet, and she could hear me fine, and vice versa. We stopped for fuel. She walked in, and I could still hear her. So yeah, for the money, exceptionally good value. The part I wasn't able to try out was the universal intercom mode to pair them with another brand of headsets. Now, I did try to pair one of the units with my Cardo Pack Talk Bold, and it wouldn't work. And I think that is the fault of the Pack Talk, not of this, because I've had the same issue with the other brand of headset that my review will be coming for, you know, soon. And I believe from the Cardo Edge and upwards, that would work. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to sort of try that out. So I can't really sort of comment on I can't really comment on whether I would actually recommend these for people who do a lot of group riding with other riders who have the Cardo units, or maybe the Senna units, because I couldn't use that, you know, function. So things I don't like, it's really only two things. One is the flap for the micro USB on the bottom. It is sometimes a bit easy to sort of catch and flip open, which obviously would obviously compromise the waterproofing. And also my worry, and I might be worrying over nothing, but having to plug the mini USB port into the back every time you plug it in into your helmet it would make me worry about the long-term waterproofing of that. However, I don't know. Those are really the only bad things I can actually say about it. There is a link in the description for Amazon where you can buy either a single pack or a twin pack. I don't know if I actually get any sort of kickback from that, but I would say, you know, based on my usage, I would probably recommend this more to the people that tend to either ride on their own or with a pillion, or with just, you know, one other friend, and you can split. Now, from what I understand, 2 of my friends did have these units, or maybe a slightly earlier version of these, when I was away in Europe, you know, with them in 2023, and apparently they were using the music sharing on them fine. You know, one of them was you know, playing the music on their headset and streaming it to the other. That's another feature I didn't get to try out on these, but they said it worked fine. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please do give me a follow over on Instagram if you have that. It's obviously at The Stammering Biker. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting the subscribe button. I'm going to try to get some more bike reviews done soon now that we have a bit better, you know, weather. Because yeah, I want to do some more bike specific, you know, content rather than tech. Anyway, enough of me waffling. I'll catch you in the next video.